Macam dia kan Indonesia memang ada ini. Body dia no body. Body no.
Putu tiada tiada.
I think, I'm not sure. Maybe raining, he thinks maybe no class.
Mama itan ni mana aja itan ni.
I notice data yutu, color yutu and very yutu is like should
Yes, should must both.
and data yutu is see, how it should be see.
How it should be done.
Done.
Done or known.
From Dannava.
Data is known, right? How should you do it or how should you
Data yutu is from Dannava.
what you should be doing?
No.
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 Color yutu is do and value yutu is see.
See.
Oh, ya. Mama boleh ini je macam. Mama bawaan kan tawa dia sini. Mana?
Sunita.
Satu tas.
Sunita body.
Value is look at how you should look at that.
Oh, tu kan.
How should you look at no? Value is how you should look at.
Pepes kita pergi ni. Ane banan tu kami body han tu je na panti habis tiano kita kuda akan ni tiano di.
Tama paha yutu.
Bodi hamudro wadi ani පැත්තෙන්
Mada unu tada unu tu tiada je na.
තද ani
Tada unu tu tiada je na bani.
තදයි ගොඩක්
Mula kan ni.
ගොඩක් රසයි
Sama. Ada dah. Jalan ni. Nah, udah dah kan. Jadi ni karena ni.
Yes,
Bandir macam membelu, angin ramai tadi. Membelu ya aku dia. Dan body trend ni.
මංගින් බලන
Dan mana ada tu?
මේ පැත්තෙන් මංගින් බලන එනවා පැස්සේ එනවා සාමාන්‍ය එනවා ඇතුලේ තියෙනවා කියලා දැනගන්න පේනවා
Ini mana?
Is it now recording or not?
Yeah, I don't think so. Damadi Pahamdi. Yeah, already it's on. There.
Oh ya?
Asking.
Ada tu terkenal di antara beri.
Damadi Pahamdi. Damadi Pahamdi.
Dengan pilih ni, tahu dah ni. Dana dia nak kita hitam.
So let's start. So let's say somebody is doing like giving alms or like practicing generosity.
නැත්තම් කාටාරි නැති බැරි කෙනෙකුට උදව්වක් කරනවා.
Or it can be maybe helping somebody that is in need.
දැන් ඒ වගේ වෙලාවල් වල මේ ඒ වෙලාවෙත් හොඳට භාවනා කරනවා නේද? භාවනා කරන්න අපි මේ හිත නැමෙනව නේද? ඔක්කොම දැන් අපි කියමුකෝ මේ ඥාතියෝ ටිකක් අත්හැර දාලා අවුරුදු අත්හැර දාලා මේ දැන් එහෙම භාවනා කරන්න බහිනවා. ඒකත් මේ ඒකයි දන් දෙන එකයි අර වගේ ඒක තේරුම මහා කාමාවචර කුසල සිත තමයි.
So now when you come to meditate, you kind of relinquish your relatives and family and possessions and job and things like that, and with that attitude you want to practice. So the mind state there is very similar to the occasion where you are giving alms or helping this person in need. There are very similar mind state occurrences. All these occasions are occasions of great wholesome mind on the side of this sense sphere, of the sense sphere level kind.
ඒක හේතුව ලෝභය, දේශය, මෝහය කියන කරුණු තුන සිතේ හොඳටම යටපත් වෙනවා.
Because on that occasion, the three roots of the unwholesome, that is greediness, anger, or let's say anger and delusion, are very much suppressed.
යටපත් වෙනවත් එක ලෝභය, අද්වේෂය, අමෝහය එනවා.
So together with the suppression of those three, the opposing wholesome roots of non-greed, non-hatred and non-delusion are active.
අමෝහයයි කියන්නේ මේ කර්මඵල විශ්වාසය.
Here, the non-delusion should be understood as the belief in the karma, like belief in karma, meaning that the actions bring good actions have good results, bad actions have bad results. Corresponding results.
කර්මඵල විශ්වාසය තමයි ප්‍රධානම දේ.
So that is the actually main, the kind of main actor, most important thing there.
මෙතන තියෙන්නේ අවිද්‍යාව යටපත් වීම.
Is that there is a kind of suppression of ignorance.
එතකොට ඒකට කියනවා කාමාවචර, මහා කාමාවචර කුසල සිත කියලා.
So this is called the great sensual sphere level wholesome mind.
නිකම්ම එකක් නෙමෙයි ඒක.
So it's not just some kind of one mind like that.
එතකොට මේ කුසල සිත හැදෙන්න මේ චෛතසික සිතක් එකතු වෙනවා.
So for that you get these 38 specific mind concomitants that combine together.
ඒක මම නිකන් කියන්න පොතේ සත්‍ය බලන්න. සබ්බචිත්ත සාධාරණ කියලා කියන්නේ සත්ත්ව වේදනා, සංඥා, චේතනා, ජීවිතේන්ද්‍රිය, මනසිකාර, ඒකාග්‍රතාව කියන කරුණු හතර. සත්ත්ව වේදනා.
So there are these 7 common mind concomitants that are available in all minds. So those 7, they are contact, feeling, perception, volition, attention, jivitindriya, life faculty, and one-pointedness, which are available in all minds. So those 7s are there because they are there in all minds.
ඒවා මේ කුසලයක් එක්ක යෙදෙනවා.
So those, they are, but these 7 common one are now applied towards the wholesome side.
ඒවා ඉවෙන් හැදෙන්නේ ඊළඟ විතක්කේ විචාරේ අදිමෝක්ඛය පීතිය සම්මුතිය.
So then you have another set of the 6 mind concomitants that are there in some minds, and that is applied thought, sustained thought, rapture, adimukti is like resolve, thought,
විතක්ක විචාර අදිමෝක්ඛ විදිය පීති ඡන්ද.
energy and will or liking.
දැන් අනිත් එකේ තියෙන ඉතින් අලෝභය සම්මෝහ සද්දා ඉරේවා විතක්කේ බලන්න.
So now we can
දහනනේ.
So the number 19 on the board signifies these 19 universal Sobhana Chetasika is like called like beautiful mind factors. So if you want to, you can check the book. So for the people that did these Abhidhamma classes, they might have some remembrance of those. You have things like non-greed, non-hatred, non-delusion, right view, and all these kind of things. And softness, lightness, workability of mind, and so on. Altogether 19 of them. So then on top of them you have the 3 abstinences, that is abstaining from wrong speech, wrong action, and wrong rivalry. So then the 2 is the immeasurables, that is loving kindness and compassion. And wisdom. So those 38 arise together in that mind. So that is also what is called samadhi. So
අපි අලුතෙන් එන බාධ ගන්න අන්තියට එන්නේ.
හරණයි.
හරණයි. එහෙනම් දෙයෙන් බාධ කමන්නේ.
So anyway, so this, if these like come together kind of in a way, then this is called samadhi or concentration.
ඒකෝනේ අපි මේ සමාධිය කියලා කතා කරනවා. දැන් සම්මා සමාධිය, මිච්ඡා සමාධිය කියක ඊ අපි කතා කරනවානේ. මේ සම්මා සමාධියක ස්වභාවික තත්ත්වය.
So this, the right concentration that was discussed the other day is of this nature according to this explanation.
දැන් අපිට දැන් මේක ඉතින් දානයක දැන් තියෙන්න පුළුවන්, සීලයකට දෙන්න පුළුවන් නෙමෙයිද?
This can come when you are engaging in generosity or giving. Sometimes also when like sila is kind of active, so then that can also.
ඉතින් මේක භාවනාවේ අදේට යෙදෙනවා. දාන සීල දෙකට වඩා භාවනාවේ උගත් අදේට යෙදෙනවා.
But in the case of meditation practice, the same kind of thing come, but they are applied in a much stronger way.
Then
That like compared to virtue and like alms giving and things like that, the meditation level of application is much stronger.
ඒක රූපාවචර රූපවල රූපොත් කියන මට්ටමට වෙනස් වෙන කම්ම භාවනාව කාමාවචර.
So normally the meditation practice is within the sensual sphere level. Sometimes it might reach up to the fine material and sometimes up to the supramental.
දැන් ඒක මේ රූපාවචර නෙමෙයි.
So now we are, and sometimes the immaterial. So now we are not discussing the fine material, immaterial, and supramental. Those we are not discussing now. Those.
දැන් ඕගොල්ලෝ නාතෝත්තනෝ කියන ඇත්තදිමාන බලන ආලෝකයේ තේරෙන සම්පජාන යනවා ඒකම සතරද නෙමෙයි දාන වන්දන රත්න දින තීන අපන කුම කාමාවත කුසල තිත.
So if when you practice slowly without rushing, knowingly means like noting the walking and standing and looking here and looking there and stretching and bending your arms and legs and body and putting on the clothes and now eating or chewing and tasting and swallowing and drinking and even talking slowly or being silent. So all these activities, as you are noting, that all those are the wholesome mind of the sensual sphere level.
එතකොට මේ කරුණ කන විස්තරයේ තදේශම තියෙනවා.
So although there is this very strong belief in the karma and its effect.
එතකොට අලෝභද්දේත දෙක තියෙනවා. අලෝභයයි අද්වේතයයි අකද්දේශයට යනවා. මෛත්‍රී කරුණාව වැඩ.
So also the non-greed is active very, very strongly, and non-hatred or loving kindness and compassion is very strongly active.
ඒතකොට මේ ඒකයි අර කියන්නේ භාවනා කරන්නට දිත්තේ තරහක් ඇවිල්ලා තරහෙන් භාවනා කරන්න බෑ කියලා. කියන්නේ අනුනුනේ.
So as Lokamru mentioned the other day, it's not possible to do proper, like real meditation practice cannot happen if you are meditating angrily. So like so, and now if you hear these definitions, now you should understand how if you are angry, the real meditation is not happening.
ඔය අපි මෙනෙහි කරනවා නේද? වේදනයි කියලා. ඒ වේදනාවයි කියන මෙනෙහි කරන මේ අද්වේෂය තියෙනවා, අමෝහය තියෙනවා, අලෝභය තියෙනවා. වේදන කරුණු කර විශ්වාසය එක තමයි මෙනෙහි කරන්නේ. ඒක අපිට තේරෙන්නේ අපි නිකන් වේදනයි කියලා විතරයි මෙනෙහි කරන්නේ. නමුත් ඒක ඇතුලේ තියෙන අර කරුණු තුනම
මේ වේදනා කියන ඕනෑම වේදනාවක්
කකුල කැක්කුම කියනවා.
So also when you have feelings, especially this means these painful feelings, the yogis are asked to note them generally. So you might think I'm just noting the pain there and that's all there is there, but it's not like that. If the practice is really happening, within that you have the non-greed and non-hatred and the belief in the karma power. So very strongly, not in a weak way.
From the yogi කියනකොට දැන් එයාට මොකක් හරි මොනවද වුණා. ඉතින් එයා දැන් මේ ඒ වේදනාව යොමුගේ කෑ ගන්නෑ. එයා ඒක මේ අර මෙනෙහි කරනවා. වේදනාවේදී පජානාති. වේදනාව දැනගන්නවා. ඒ දැනගන්න වේදනාවේදී පජානාති කියන මෙනෙහි කරන එකේ අර කරුණු තුන තමයි වැඩ කරන්නේ.
So now a good yogi, if something happens to him or her, does not go like moaning, oh, like no, the good yogi. Then the yogi knows that, so the sutta says Vedayamiti Pajanati, as it's experienced or felt, it is clearly recognized. So the yogi clearly recognizes the painful experience and that's it. And that is happening like that in the good yogi exactly because of these three wholesome roots being there, that is the non-greed, non-hatred and non-greed.
එතකොට මහා කාමාවචර කුසල සිත තමයි මේ භාවනාවේ වැඩ කරන්නේ.
So like that within the meditation practice, it is this great sensual sphere wholesomeness mind that are operation.
ඒවා ළඟ වැඩ කරනවා. ළඟ වැඩ කරන සමාධිය බහුල වෙනවා.
So if these kinds of minds arise very near to one another, like they are closely arising, then when that happens, the samadhi starts growing.
ඉතින් දැන් ඒක අපේ සිත්වල වැඩෙන්න ඕනේ.
So that is so this is something that needs to be trained. So the mind and mind concomitants one needs to train in order to get that kind of mind and mind concomitant.
දැන් මොන සමාධිය වැඩෙනවා. සමාධියයි ධ්‍යානයයි දෙකක්.
So once again, as was mentioned the other day, samadhi is one thing and another separate thing is jhana or absorption. So the samadhi, Lokamda again says, as was already mentioned yesterday and the other day, samadhi, Lokamda defines as mind that is not dispersed. It's the ability without fail or lapse to know the object. So here the objects does not mean necessarily just one object. It actually means whatever is there, whatever mind state or feeling or bodily thing, as they are arising, they are without fail noted properly. So this failing without fail is what is meant. So as a result, the things that normally might be disturbing or troubling, they no longer disturb or trouble the yogi. There might be like things coming from the place where the person is meditating. So these normally troublesome things, they stop being troublesome exactly because the yogi is now really noting everything that happens to him. This is actually the beginning occasion, like the beginning of samadhi. So even though it's just the beginning of the samadhi, so for such a person as Lokamda was showing, if somebody comes and puts something down noisily or knocks things together in a noisy way, it's not an issue for the yogi, because the yogi knows all those things as the other all things, and it's not an issue for the yogi at this beginning part of samadhi. No, it is not done for so evidence it the
සිද්ධියෙන් ස්වභාවික තත්ත්වය.
So, but you cannot make yourself like that. It is just that the yogis practice up to the level that the noting is happening in this way, that these things are not causing any trouble. So Lokam also said now the things that he showed and described, like somebody noisily putting something down or doing some other sounds or knocking like the teacup against the plate and things. The yogis, before they reach this state, they like my opened eyes and look who is doing this. Don't they know what meditation means, and they get angry, and so this happens to yogis that have not achieved this level.
ඒක නිකන් මවාගත්ත මවාගෙන ජීවත් වෙන එකක් නෙමෙයි. ඒක ඉබේටම යෝගියාගේ ස්වභාවික තත්ත්වය.
So once again, this level is not like mind created, like dreamy state or something you can meditate yourself into. No, it's just the practice naturally develops that if you just properly practice, you come to this level.
මේකට කියනවා ආදි චිත්තයයි කියලා.
So this is what is called, in English it's usually translated as the higher mind.
ආදි චිත්තය ලබනවා. ආදි චිත්ත දීලා ආදි චිත්ත සමාධි නේ. ඒක දැන් විපස්සනාවට හරවන්න පුළුවන් සමාධියක් ඇදලා තියෙනවා.
So now the yogi has managed to acquire the kind of concentration, samadhi, that is possible to turn into the insight practice, or towards the insight.
ඒ සමාධියේ ඉන්නකොට මේ ස්කන්ධ පංචකේ ස්වභාවික තත්ත්වයන් වැටෙනවා.
So as the yogi continues practicing within that level of samadhi, what starts happening is the yogi sometimes just starts getting what the five aggregates, what is the nature of the five aggregates, or how the five aggregates are there.
අන්න ඒවල අමරණම් කරනෝවි ස්කන්ධ පංචකේ ස්වභාවික තත්ත්වය මෙනෙහි කරනවා.
Without getting kind of displeased, one just sees and understands the five aggregates as they are.
එතකොට ඒක හැදෙනවා මේ විපස්සනා පැත්තට.
So then we can say then now the practice is turning towards the insights part.
එතකොට අපි කියමුකෝ මේ නීවරණ කියලා. නීවරණයක තරහ වෙන්නේ නීවරණය නඳුන ගන්න. ඉතල නීවරණයක අමනාප ඇති වෙනවා.
So now
නීවරණය හඳුන ගන්න.
before in the practice, if the hindrances arise, the yogi usually experiences kind of this. The yogi is usually displeased with the appearance of the hindrances. Now at this level, if the hindrances appear, they are just very much recognized or figured out, like known properly, without the displeasure. So it's exactly like the way it is stated in the Satipatthana Sutta within the Dhammanupassana. So there is the section on the hindrances. So over there it says Ajjatama. So this now within me the sensual desire has arisen, or now within me the sensual desire has ceased, and things like that. So you can, if you want to have better like definition, you should refer to that part of Satipatthana.
නීවරණයයි ස්කන්ධයයි ධාතුවයි ධාතු ආයතන මේවා තේරෙන්නකොට කියනවා අධිපඤ්ඤාවයි කියලා.
So the adipanya, or higher wisdom, is usually translated. So is this one. When the yogi starts getting what the five aggregates are, or starts getting them as they are. Likewise for the hindrances, elements, and sense bases.
දැන් අධිදීර්යයි අධිචිත්තයයි අධිපඤ්ඤාවයි කියලා කියන්නේ මෙන්න මේ දැන් වලට මේ විදිහ.
So like this you have the adisila
කිව්වේ නෑ
so the first one is actually called adisila. It's like higher virtue, but anyway we don't have to discuss this. Lokam did not mention it because most of you are anyway established in virtue, so we did not mention that. But now Lokam will explain what is this so-called higher mind and higher wisdom. So you have these three higher, like the parts of the trading.
අධිචිත්තය අධිපඤ්ඤාව ලැබෙන්නේ නැත්නම් කෙනෙකුට ලැබෙන ඒ කුසලතාව ලැබුණ පිටින් වායාමයි කරනවා. අර මහා මේක ලැබෙන්නේ නැත්නම් මේ විපස්සනාවට මහා කාමාවට කුසලයේ හැදෙන්න මේ මහා ව්‍යායාමයක් කරනවා.
So now if these things are not coming up in the practice, one needs to exert oneself, and there are particular things that can be done and should be done.
අදි මාත්‍ර ඡන්දේ කියලා කියන්නේ සංනාව නෙවෙයි. මේ බලවත් ඡන්දය නොපොදුබස්නා වීර්යය ඒකට එකතු වෙලා තියෙනවා. පසුබහින්නේ ආතාපි කියන වචනේ. ඒකට ඒ කියන්නේ මේ කොහොමද ඡන්දේ කියන්නේ? මේකේ බලවත් කැමැත්ත ආසාව නෙවෙයි, තණ්හාව නෙවෙයි. මග්ගඵල නිවන්.
So one thing is called adhimatra කියන ගොඩක්.
අධිමාත්‍ර කියන්නේ ගොඩක්.
So it's like strong chanda. Chanda is usually translated as desire, but that has kind of bad connotation. So sometimes it's translated as will to do or liking to do things or things like that. So Lokam says, but when he said if we translate from Sinhala, it is liking but not liking. Okay. So it's like the strong will to do the practice.
වායාමයේ කරන්න හොඳටම හතරාකාරයෙන් වායාමයේ සිදු වෙනවා.
So those are these like 7 things written in the middle section. So first one is this strong will, or like will means like will to do, or you like to do it but not in a way of normal liking or desiring. The next one is Vayama, is usually effort, and Lokam says this has like fourfold effort. So here normally quite often the word Vayama refers to bodily effort, but here the next word effort means the effort as it is normally defined as this. Now already arisen unwholesomeness abandoning and preventing the unarisen unwholesomeness from arising, and kind of nurturing and protecting the already arisen wholesomeness and kind of instigating the unarisen wholesomeness to arise. Like you try to make the unarisen wholesomeness arise. So these 4 factors of effort are there.
වායාම දැන් හරිනේ. ඉතින් වායාමයේ කරනකොට මේ සතිය මේ සතිවත්තන ආසත් තියෙනවා. ඒක වැරදින්නේ ඒ සතිය පිහිටන හැම අරමුණකම.
So what was Lokam mentioned is just next to the strong will to do is this energy that does not allow you to slide back. This is like combined. So as you are exerting these four kinds of effort, what is there and what helps with that and is helped by that is mindfulness, or this at least the noting of the things. So when you so when that is happening, then the sati starts being established within the noting practice, and at this level you need to achieve the level where the sati becomes like the established sati. So what is there is without like holding on to and without conflicting, just apprehending the nature of the arisen object.
Body and then
So the next line is the next one is like endeavoring or attempting, and that here refers to especially to the bodily part. So like you wake up early in the morning and you start using the body for the practice. So you have to like sit and walk and do things slowly. So like this bodily, making the body as a vehicle of the practice is this endeavoring. This is not because there are some rules or somebody is forcing you or making you to do these things. So anyway, so with this So now I asked, so the rules are also good, but they are good for the real beginning yogis. That they are not used to practice at all, so the rules can help them. But now we are talking about really like advanced level of practice. So this endeavoring means the bodily effort to get hand in hand. This goes the sampajanya, or that is. That is especially referring to the section of the Satipatthana Sutta which is called mindfulness and clear comprehension, and that is again this section which says while walking here and back he is doing that knowingly, or the self-comprehension and so on, looking here and there, eating all these things, so that is the sampajanya, clear comprehension section. So as the Buddha said, now the Satipatthana was given by the Buddha as a way, like mode of living actually. And for the mode of living, the three things mentioned by the Buddha at the very beginning of the sutta is atapi, sampajano, and satima. That is, atapi is this ardent, is this effort which has these things mentioned here connected with the effort. Sampajana is the clear comprehension, and satima means sati. So these three things are now combined together, and it's the mode of living of the yogi.
Then
So then there is the samadhi there, and it is a very good, true, good samadhi.
ඒ සම්පජාඤ්ඤය කරන්නේ මේ දිට්ඨිය හිමින් අයින් කරනවා.
So is this especially what is worth mentioning is the factor of the clear comprehension. So this clear comprehension really combines with this kind of settled, kind, concentrated mind, and with that, little by little, the views get kind of straightened out or kind of proved.
අධිපඤ්ඤාව.
So this is what is called adipanya or the higher wisdom.
ඔව් මේ මෙතන සත්‍ය පුද්ගල යා සත්‍ය පුද්ගල කියලා ගැටහගෙන ඉන්නවා කියන්නේ. දැන් මේ දෙක වෙන් කරනවා.
So we are normally tied with these two things, and that is there is a person or there is kind of being going on, the kind of tangle or knot. So then at this level this tangle starts being untangled, or the knot of there being a person or being starts being clearly like recognize what it is.
ඉතින් අධිපඤ්ඤාවෙන් ආපුවාම මේ සම්පජාඤ්ඤයේ වැඩ කරන්නේ එතකොට ගන්නෙ නැහැ මේ මිත්‍යා දිට්ඨියෙන් අදහස්. මිත්‍යා දිට්ඨිය අදහස් තියෙන්නේ. දැන් සම්මා දිට්ඨිය බැහැලානේ. සම්මා දිට්ඨිය බැහැලා තියෙනකොට දැන් ඒ මිත්‍යා මම කියලා ගන්න එකනේ මිත්‍යා කියලා කියන්නේ. ඒ මම මගේ කියන අරමුණු එහෙම ගන්න එක.
So now one is established in a kind of right view, samadhi ditti. So that means part of that lokamsas is really the notion of I and mine is really kind of wrong way of seeing things. So as the yogi is now within the right view, so these notions of I and my, or taking things with the notions of I and mine, is removed or eradicated, and also it kind of prevents them from happening.
දැන් ඉතල භාවනාවේ මේ අධිපඤ්ඤාව වැඩ කරන හැටි.
So this is, it is in this way that this higher wisdom is functioning within the meditation practice.
දැන් අධිචිත්තය තියෙනවා. අධිචිත්තය වැඩ කරනවා මේ අධිපඤ්ඤාවත් එක්කලා.
So this higher mind, so-called higher mind that was mentioned before, is working together with the higher wisdom that was mentioned just now. So this higher mind, adhichitta kiyana ara vipirisarana. So once again, this is just reminder. This higher mind was what was described at the beginning, and this is this non-dispersed mind with this proper level of samadhi is something that is absolutely necessary in order to kind of put together or acquire the higher wisdom.
ඔක්කොම මේක වෙන් කරලා ගන්න.
So because this so this like seeing what is happening and seeing or like identifying that there is actually no person within that, no being or no ongoing soul or identity within that, seeing this clearly or identifying clearly that there is nothing like that within that happens while being within the higher mind. So while being at the level of the higher mind, these things are understood.
Then yoga, then vipassana ඥානවල ක්‍රියාත්මක වෙන මේ සමාධි අර කාමාවචර කුසල සිත ඊළඟම කුසල දැනි ඒ කාමාවචර කුසල සිත තමයි සද්දම කාමාවචර කුසල්දිතර මහා කාමාවචර
So now,
කුසලයේ තමයි කියන්නේ.
so now we start. Lokam started with saying this is the great, sensual sphere level wholesome mind. So out of these great sensual sphere wholesome minds, this kind of great great sensual sphere wholesome mind is the very like the supreme or strongest one, the very very best kind one can get.
එතකොට දැන් එහෙම ඒ විපස්සනා වැඩ කරන බලවත් සමාධිය තියෙනවා. ඒක දැන් ධ්‍යානවලට ළඟ සමාධිය.
So with this, if this insight practice is now really working and happening, the mind level like that is very near to absorption and has this concentration there is extremely strong.
ඉතින් ඒක හදාගන්න අපි උත්සාහයම ගන්නවා. දැන් සත්‍යපජාන්නේ සාධතින් නොපද බස්නා වීර්යය කියන්නේ ආතාපි. සම්පජානෝ සතිමා කියන කරුණු තුන තමයි මෙතන මේ දියන්නේ අදිමාත ඡන්දේ වායාමයේ උත්සාහ. දැන් ඊට පස්සේ මේ විදිහට මාර්ගයෙන් යනවා. ඒතකොට චිත්ත සමතය ලබනවා. නවයි නම් අදිමාත පඤ්ඤාව හරියට විපස්සනාව ලබනවා නම් මේ එතකොට මේ ලද්දෙකුගේ මෙන්න මේ විදිහට ලබන්නේ කියලා කියනවා. එයා ලබපුවෙන් පස්සේ දැන් ටික
ඒක කිව්වා.
දැන් අපි
අන්තිම කොටස තමයි
ඥානි චිත්තය අධිපඤ්ඤාවේ ලබපුවෙන් පස්සේ වෙන්නේ ඊට පස්සේ මේ කොහොමද මේ සංකාරය දැනගන්නේ කියලා මේ සංකාරයන් කෙරෙහි පරිේෂණයක් දැන් අපි මේ කියන විදිහට පරිේෂණයක් නෙමෙයි. වැටෙනවා මට කියලා දෙන්න දෙන්නේ.
So now when these things really come together, that is the higher mind and then the higher wisdom are really kind of working. So these three things become obvious or start occurring to the yogi, and that is how the sankharas are to be known. So Lokam says he does not know how to properly even explain this one, because if we like might get idea, we are like thinking about that or analyzing, which is a kind of wrong idea. It's just something that arises within the practice, like naturally, if the practice achieves this level. So the sankharas, formations are known.
කුසල ධර්මතා දැනගන්න මෙතන අකුසල නෙවෙයි. කුසල ධර්මතා තියෙන්නේ ඔය මොනවද අපි කියමු මේ සමත මේව ධ්‍යාන ආරම්භකිය රැස්වෙනවා ටික තේරුම් ගැනීම හිතේ.
So in the mind kind of starts getting how this because now at that thing, this wholesome mind is happening, these wholesome minds are happening. So like what came together for these wholesome minds to happen? Something.
Vipatte, vitare, piti, pattati, samadhi, opekakite, dame, dhyana, garamati, meya, terundana, me.
So the yogi might get the understanding what, like maybe what is now happening now is how these, let's say, the jhanic factors are these and they are combining or things like that. So it's the next line is when once they are known, they are kind of, let's say, investigated. And Lokohamdu says the investigated is something like, is this is happening, and then you see as it is happening.
So, yoga me adipanya labala dena, then aditile, aditite, adipanya laba, adipanya viditama me sitat, me chay sitat, me kusalut, me akulut pengalan.
So anyway, I will try. So now that the yogis, again, all the three, that is the higher virtue, higher mind and higher wisdom, and there is this ability to discriminate what is wholesome and what are the parts that contribute to the wholesome and what is unwholesome and what parts contribute to the unwholesome. Things like that are seen, known and understood.
Then I mean, then on Labuna.
But for some, this kind of understanding is not happening. So let's say, first, in the first case, while noting doing this practice, the first kind of practitioner understood those mentioned things. But some people they do the same thing, but this understanding is not happening. Ek ඉබ්බැත්තම වෙනවාද කරන්න ඕනේද? So Lokam says now he gets this second kind of gets idea how does this mind, how it comes together like this.
Oh.
So කියන්න කොහොමද වෙන්න අර ගුරුවරයෙක්ද?
නෑ ගුරුවරයා
So if I understood correctly, so it's not that the yogi might get the idea, but it's like the teacher's job to figure out how the mind was getting there, and when this is understood, then the teacher gives the yogi some extra meditation instruction or maybe some extra meditation object in order to correct the mind, let's say. Adjust it. So for that the teacher tries to figure out some kind of matching or appropriate object that can manage the adjustment.
Oh,
So there are these they are called 4 protective meditations or 4 meditations for like general usage or something like that. So the teacher chooses the most appropriate one out of those and gives it to the yogi, maybe to practice for a couple of days to kind of adjust the practice. So it's like you get some injury, not that you have broken leg, but some like lesser injury than that. Then you might be given a walking stick to help, and you are using the walking stick for the time where the leg is like kind of hurting, and when that is managed, you again walk without them.
ඉතින් එදාට සිත එකඟ කරනවා.
Mm.
එකඟ කරලා ඊපස්සේ අරමුණට ආයෙත් තන්න අරමුණට ගන්නවා.
So then first you manage to like calm the mind, then the mind is again brought to one-pointedness, and when that is achieved, the practice is taken back to the original practice.
බික්කුණු පස්සේ
Hmm.
බික්කුණු පස්සේ තියෙන්නේ
So there is a particular sutta in
මතක නම් කියන්න ටිකක්.
there is this particular sutta in Samyutta Nikaya called I think the Bhikkhunic Quarters, right?
ඔව්.
So this I don't remember it exactly, but so the Venerable Ananda, he has gone to where the bhikkhunis were, and when he came back to the Buddha, he reported how these bhikkhunis were practicing and getting to these higher levels of the practice, but sometimes it was not working. So then the Buddha explains two ways, and one way is of application, and it is non-application, something like that. So.
ඔව්. දැන් ඉතින් මේ විදිහට සිත දැන් අරමුණට ආයෙත් තිබ්බනේ හොඳට.
So now the teacher managed to find out what is happening, calm the mind, giving some other object, and then the mind has achieved again good one-pointedness, and then the yogi is told to go back to the original practice.
ඉතින් දැන් මෙයා භාවනාවේ මේ නොනැති මේ හැරෙනවා කුරුපාවචර පැත්තට. එහෙම නැත්නම් මෙයා කාමාවචර සිත අතාරිනවා. ඒ කාමාවචර සිත අතාරිනවත් එක්කම මේ රූපාවචර සිත බාහිර වෙනවා.
So then one is at the level of the sensual sphere level, and from there the practice can go towards the fine material, rupavachara.
ඒකට කියනවා ධ්‍යාන කියන.
So that is this rupavachara, or the fine material sphere level, is actually another word for the absorption level,
ඔයින් ධ්‍යානදී
or actually absorption mind.
ධ්‍යාන පොඩ්ඩු වෙනවා.
So then the yogi trains the absorption.
ධ්‍යාන ලැබිච්ච ගාම මේ උගේ වල එකේ ධ්‍යාන බෑ. ඉතින් ධ්‍යාන නැති වෙන ධ්‍යාන චුට්ටි වෙලාවයි.
So in the beginning, the jhanic mind is there just really for very short time.
ඔය පරිදි ධ්‍යානෙ ක්‍රමානුකූල වැඩි වෙනවා.
When if the yogi is doing this practice of developing the jhana, then he little by little manages to increase the time of staying in the jhana.
ඔය ධ්‍යානය කියලා අරුත්යක් නැහැ. සිතේ පොඩි පරිවර්තනයක් වෙනවා. චෛතසික හුඟක් අඩුවෙන් හට ගන්න සමාධි තත්ත්වය.
So Kam says it's jhana is not a new thing. There is just this kind of little bit of change, and Kam says where the mind concomitants are less.
ඔයකොට වැඩ කරන්නේ චෛතසික පහයි.
So then there are these 5 mental factors working.
ඔව්. දැන් ඒ අරමුණේ විතක්කය තියෙනවා. ආනාපානෙන විතක්කය තියෙනවා. ඒ ගත්ත විතක්කේ මේ විතයකම පවතිනවා. ඒකම පීතිය තියෙනවා. සුඛය තියෙනවා. ඒකගතය.
So that is the applied and sustained thought that are there with the meditation object, and together with that arises rapture and one-pointedness.
Okay, karena baha
Oh.
ඒ කර්ම පහයි පහෙන් හැදිච්ච සිතට කියන ධානයයි
And
කියලා.
that there is also sukha or happiness or bliss or comfort. So together with those 5 things, the jhana is that.
ධානයයි කියලා කියන්නේ අර කාමාවචර කුසල දිට වැඩ කරන්නේ නැහැ කියන එකයි.
Why is it called a jhana? Is because the sensual sphere level wholesome mind is no longer working.
ඔව් ඒකෙන් තමයි තෙන්දෙන්නකම් ආවේ.
But with that wholesome side, this sensual sphere wholesome mind, one has reached up to the level, but then when this sensual sphere wholesome mind stops working, then it's called the fine material wholesome mind, or the jhana mind.
මම අමාරු වගේ කාවා. මහින්ද තමයි මාවේ අමාරු වගේ එකගෙන ආවේ.
So I have reached some place, the place where there is a lot of difficulty together with me, Mahinda, and Mahinda has reached
හැම පැත්තෙම කරදර වෙන්නේවා. මහින්ද මගාරවල මාව එකගෙන ආවා. මාව එකගෙන ආවා කොහාටද?
Oh.
දැන් ඉතින් මහින්ද කියන දැන් මම යනවා ආන්දෝ යන්නේ මහින්ද යන්නේ කියලා. දැන් මම තනිය යනවා ඉතින්.
So it's like Lokam and Mahinda were going somewhere and with a lot of difficulty and trouble reach some place. When they reach the place, Mahinda says, okay, we are here, so Bante, I am going my way, and leaves. So then Lokam goes alone. So that the Lokam says the sensual sphere wholesome mind is like that.
දැන් ඒකට මහින්ද මන්ට කියලා ආන්දෝ තනිය යන්න කියලා එයාගේ ගමන එයා ගියා. දැන් මම තනිය යනවා. ඒකවල කාමාවචර පැත්ත සමාන භයානක පැත්ත. ඒ භයානක පැත්ත අත්හරින්න තමයි ඒ අත්හරින්න එක තමයි උදව් කළා. දැන් මහින්ද උදව් කළා වගේ ඒ කාමාවචර පැත්ත අයින් කරන එකට උදව් කරන එක තමයි ඔය අපි භාවනාවේ කරලා ඒක අයින් කරලා දැන්.
So like
ඒක වැඩ කරන්නේ. දැන් ධ්‍යාන සිත වැඩ කරනවා. කාමාවචර සිත වැඩ කරන්නේ.
So the sensual sphere mind or sensual sphere level is the dangerous or fearsome one, but you use it to achieve up to the level where it can be like let go of and just the fine material sphere level can be happening. So like this Mahinda was like assistant for Lokohamdo in this example. So like maybe looking after Lokohamdo like this, and when they reach the place, Mahinda goes his way because his job is finished, and Lokohamdo continues on his own.
මහින්ද කාමාවචර දිට වගේ.
So the Mahinda is in this example the sensual sphere mind.
දැන් මහින්ද නෑ.
So now Lokam is free from Mahinda, free from the sensual sphere mind.
දැන් කවුරුත් නෑ.
හැබැයි Mahinda නැතුව ඒක ගන්න බෑ. But once again, Lokam would not have been able to reach the place without Mahinda. But once he has reached the place finally, then they part the ways, and now Lokam is there alone.
මේ කාමාවචර දිකට ගොඩාක් දේවල් එකතු වෙලා තියෙනවා. සීලය, දානය.
But for this sensual sphere mind this is a special kind of sensual sphere mind that had to gather all kind of things like virtue, generosity, all these good supporting factors. Like small things were gathered, accumulated, and assisted. Up to the level, they have been used and accumulated. Up to the level where the jhana is achieved. So those are used either up to the level where the absorption, like up to the doorstep of the absorption mind, or up to the Sankarupeka, that's the equanimity towards formations inside knowledge. That's where these small things of the sensual sphere wholesomeness are accumulated and helping out the effort.
දැන් ඒතකොට දැන් මේ මමට මංගල තනිය යනවානේ මහින්ද නැහැ.
So now comes walking alone without Mahinda.
මට තනිය යන්න.
He goes alone.
ධ්‍යාන පැත්ත.
That is the jhana side.
ඒ ධ්‍යාන සයිට් එකේ ඒ වර්ගයට නැතුව යන්න මොනියට උදව් කරනවා මට.
So then in order to be free from kind of being tricked, then whenever Sunita comes along to help Lokohama.
මහින්ද තනිය මට එක්කෙනෙක් හම්බ වුණා.
Lokama let go of Mahinda, that helped him reach the one place, and then found another helper to like continue along the way further. Whenever Sunita is telling like, but go this way, don't go that way, and things like that. So then, at one point, even when Venerable Sunita is like relinquished, let go. And then Lokam again walks alone. And that is what is called this conformity knowledge and change of lineage and the path. Both Venerable Mahinda and Venerable Sunita were the kind of wholesome, sensual sphere wholesome.
Mahinda Kamavachari, Rupavachari Tenakan Ginava, Rupavachari Patyayam Kamavachari.
So Mahinda, Venerable Mahinda was the wholesome, sensual sphere wholesomeness that helped Lokam to reach the level of the jhana. Then after the jhana again, a kind of new level of sensual sphere wholesomeness was used to achieve the path.
Then
so now there are these occasions or time when this relinquishing is happening. So one can stay at the level of the fine material if one wishes. So some people might stay at that level even for a number of years, and then later on anyway one can, if one wishes, so try to achieve the path knowledge. So this wholesome mind of the sensual sphere kind works from the very beginning up to these higher lofty levels and is helping them. And that is now it's finished. May the triple gate be a refuge for it.